Greetings, Arts Beatniks. It's the Casey Arts Beat Report. I'm Patrick Neas. And I tell you, if you love great dance, this is the show for you because we're going to be talking about two of the greatest American ballets ever choreographed and a world premiere, all to be presented by the Kansas City Ballet March 20th to 29th. We're going to tell you more about that in just a second with the artistic director of the Kansas City Ballet. But first, I'd like to ask you to please like this video, share it with anyone you know who loves great dance, who loves the arts in Kansas City, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And also follow us on Facebook and also subscribe to our Substack. But right now it's time to say hello to Devon Carney, the artistic director of the Kansas City Ballet. Devon, it's always so good to see you.
Oh, thank you, Patrick. I really appreciate your interest in what we do. It's really exciting to be able to talk about it.
Well, it's just terrific. And as I say, you are doing two of the greatest American ballets in the repertoire uh, and a world premiere. Tell us about these three works. I
Wow,
know, yeah, Stars and Stripes is the headliner, isn't it?
that's true. It isn't the only thing on the program, even though we're calling the title of the show is Stars and Stripes. There are two other works on the program that are not part of Stars and Stripes. They are their own specific works. Yeah, Stars and Stripes is the headliner. Let's put it that way. Like you said, I like that. That is a massive work. I'm really excited to be able to have a chance to bring it to the Kansas City audiences. To the best of my knowledge, this is a Kansas City premiere. I don't think it's ever been done in our city, so
Wow.
that's exciting. One of the reasons is it's very large, and it takes a tremendous amount of well-tuned dancers to be able to put it on. And our company is getting big enough now between our company and second company to be able to accomplish presenting a work of such magnitude. There's 44 dancers on stage at once at the
Whoa.
end of the ballet. Yeah, there are three regiments. Each regiment has 13 dancers in it. Two of them are by women, one is by men, and there's a pas de couple. All that adds up to when you get on stage at the finale, the grand finale. Let me tell you, it is all of them on stage, and it is so exciting to witness that come to life in Kansas City. I've had a chance to work on it before my previous company, which was really exciting to have a chance to be a part of that process. And to bring it to Kansas City, it means the world to me to be able to have this opportunity, especially it being our 250th anniversary of the founding of our country. And that's what this whole production, both Stars and Stripes and the other two works on the program, together are speaking to different parts of the American experience over this decades and decades. So it's really exciting. First and foremost, to bring Stars and Stripes. That is a work by George Balanchine, which was first done in 1958 by the New York City Ballet. And it's to all the music, all that music is it's all arranged by Hershey K and is the John Philip Sousa music, such as it's all that kind of music. It's just
Right.
it's rousing, get up and cheer kind of music. I just love it. It's so fun. And to hear it in a full orchestrated version, the music apparently was originally written as for military bands,
Right.
uh, which don't have strings. So to hear it in a full orchestrated version, which was what Hershey K did, he orchestrated it for the full breadth of what a symphony can bring to life, which, of course, we have the Kansas City Symphony in the pit
Sure.
playing with us. So exciting to have them to collaborate with on that. And that is the first one. And of course, there's two others, which you want me to talk about. I can talk about those two.
Let's talk a little bit more about Stars and Stripes before we move
Go
on.
for it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now I understand that George Balanchine, that somebody asked him why John Philip Sousa, and he just said because the music makes me happy,
Exactly. Yep.
which is a
That's
good
it.
reason.
Yep.
And also I think he was saluting his adopted country too, wasn't he? Yeah.
Right. It was very much an ode to his adopted country, him being a Russian immigrant. It was something that meant a lot to him when he became a citizen in 1940. He immigrated to the country in 1933, but 1940 he actually became an American citizen. And so this was 13 years later. No, what is it? 18 years later. He really wanted to do something that really honored his new country that he loved so dearly, as he, of course, was in New York City and building this incredible company, New York City Ballet.
Uh-huh. I also understand that he referred to Stars and Stripes as an applause machine.
Certainly, we can
Nothing
call.
wrong with that, is there, Devon?
Oh, it's great, and I love. That's great. Thank you. I'll have to. Yep, that's great. Oh, it is definitely a applause machine. It's lighthearted. It's fun. It's a romp, right? And
Uh-huh.
it it's just an opportunity to really just celebrate this his newfounded country, but also it's fun for us to have a chance to just feel that sense of what the patriotism, if you wish to call it, of America, and that's part of the whole evening of Americana that I really was specific about.
It looks like a splash of color too. Those costumes look like a lot of fun.
Wow. Yeah. Uh, and it's interesting because that's what ends the night. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And prior to that, the other two works are more muted colors. So this will like not only you're going to applaud, but your eyes are going to go like wide open because you are going to see color like it's bold, it's bright, and it's a rainbow of different colors all on stage. And of course, the whole culmination of the night is in the finale when the music goes. How's it go? Yum ba da 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 dee da da dee da da dee. Right. That's the Stars and Stripes Forever. That's what it's called. That piece of music. And as that music starts, a full backdrop of the American flag comes down. So it's just you just want to get up and go yay. It's
Well,
evenings, and I love that. I love that about this piece of music, and also this choreography that George Balanchine chose to create.
so are you starting the evening with Rodeo?
Correct. Yes,
All
we are
right.
starting with rodeo. Rodeo is a completely different experience. It's the Midwest. It's when the West was new, right? It's basically set in the probably 1840s, I guess you could say. It could also be today, for instance, out there in the West on ranches, way out in Montana or something. Um, and it was created in 1942. And the music is by Aaron Copland, and it's a very famous piece of music, which is called Rodeo, right? Which was created for this creation. Got to remember that it was created for this creation. It was not something that AGNES DE Mille, who is the choreographer for this, she did not go find music. She actually asked for, and she was given a lot of leeway on what she was going to, how she was going to create this more American piece of choreography, because it was the Ballet Russe de Monte Carlo that was presenting this, and they wanted to create something that really spoke to the American West, and AGNES DE Mille was chosen to do it, and she asked for Aaron Copland to compose it. Like, I guess if I was going to shoot for the stars, I'd want to. That would be a one that I would be quite excited about because his music has such a beautiful sort of sense of a simpler time, and
Well,
an honest time.
well, I
You
know he
know,
wrote Billy the Kid before Rodeo, and he was
so
hesitant to write Rodeo, wasn't he?
yeah,
Because he didn't
he
want to
did
write
one.
another Western ballet.
Yeah,
Boy, aren't we glad he did?
yeah, yeah. And as a matter of fact, here's a little tiny bit of trivia for you. Billy the Kid was presented by American Ballet Theater 4 years to the date earlier. 4 years to the date, October 16th, 1938. So it took 4 years later, he composed another one. Yeah, he didn't want to do another cowboy ballet, he said. And so it was exciting. He was resistant to it. So here's the cool thing, okay, about that little bit of story is that because there was a little bit of arm twisting and cajoling to get Aaron Copland to do it, Agnes de Mille just was pushing forward. I mean, she wanted to create this work, and she created it without the music composed. So she used folk songs, traditional folk songs from the West, and created the whole, kind of sketched out the whole ballet before Aaron Copland actually got to start composing. So when it came time for when Aaron Copland finally said, "Sure, I'm going to do it," he saw rehearsal and saw that she had already choreographed to these folk songs. So he took signature lines from these folk songs and created the music based on these folk songs, which is really kind of interesting that Aaron Copland was willing to do that. One of them, what is it called? One of them is called "I Ride an Old Paint," which was written long before. It's like an old, what do you call it? You're out on the plains, sitting around a campfire, and this is one of those songs that just sing along to. And here's the last line from "I Ride an Old Paint." An old paint refers to, apparently, it's an old horse. So I ride an old paint is basically I'm riding an old horse. And pardon my tonal quality. I'm not, but oh, when I die, take my saddle from the wall and put it on my pony, lead him out from the stall, tie my bones to his back, turn our faces to the west, and we'll ride the prairie that we love best.
Wow, really good, Devon. You sound like an old cowpoke.
Yeah. Well, I am at heart, frankly. So
I've always heard that tune in Rodeo. I didn't know it had words.
Exactly, neither did I. And that's what's so cool about, digging into the musical history of what Aaron wrote is that these are old folk songs that are just literally almost verbatim. Certain signature lines are in the score. And it's really kind of makes it even that much more authentic to the old men, There's another one. What's it called? Which I'm not going to sing because it's just a tune, and it's the one for that's the right. That one. That is actually taken from a fiddler. It's an American folk song called "Bonaparte" or Bonaparte's Retreat, played by Salyerville, a Kentucky fiddler named William Hamilton Stepp, who recorded it in 1937. And that is, if you look that up, if your listeners go to the YouTube and just type in all that, you will hear an old recording of this fiddler playing that music.
Wow.
And so she took these signatures, these pieces of music,
Yeah,
and
I thought that song came from a TV commercial for beef.
Of course it did. Exactly. So it's a really cool. The music has its own incredible story. Of course, a year later in 1942. 43, excuse me, he had created, it was so well received as music that it was presented in he took parts of Rodeo and made it a suite that was performed by the Boston Pops about a year later. And it has had its own incredible life in recordings, of course, as we all know. But you're not going to get the whole ballet if you listen to that recording, just so you know.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah,
I didn't know. That's interesting.
Yeah, so and then there's Agnes de Mille, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah, I was going to tell ask you about her. She fascinates me because she seems to have created her choreography kind of out of whole cloth. Correct me if I'm wrong, but unlike Balanchine, who was steeped in that Russian imperial ballet tradition and other
Mhm.
choreographers, she seems to have created something uniquely American. Is that
Yes, I would agree. And it is because, first of all, she had a good understanding of the West, and she was a very down to earth person. And the lead person, the lead character in the ballet, is a tomboy, otherwise known as a cowgirl. Okay, and it's a girl who wants to be a boy so she can relate to the cowboys, so she can find a guy. So it's a very sort of like layered approach that this cowgirl has, that she wants to try and she wants to be herself, but she also wants to be one of the girls. It's a really interesting dichotomy that she goes through, and it's a very well known role, which requires a very specific kind of dancer to be able to do that role. It is the role, by the way, when it was first created in 1942, Agnes de Mille performed the lead role. So she performed it, she choreographed and also performed in it. And it is apparently, I never met Agnes de Mille personally, but I feel like I did only through the fact that I danced in Rodeo many times. Um, Apparently the cowgirl really is her personality. She's a little bit not quite fitting in, she's not the girl in the frilly dress. And, she kind of follows the beat of her own drum. And she's really put that out there. Like you said, it's part of her, really is part of her. And I love that about the ballet. It's a very honest ballet, it's honest. And I like that about the work.
And again, it's another, just based on the music, very exciting. Agnes de Mille, for people who might not even have heard of her, you might have seen her work in the movie Oklahoma. Uh,
Right, which was what was that? A year later that she was actually, because of Rodgers and Hammerstein came to the premiere of Rodeo, and because of them coming to see the show, they asked her to choreograph for Oklahoma, which opened on March 13th, 1943, the Broadway show. So, yeah, they were very inspired by her and her approach to an expression of what the West is or was.
yeah, that's great. Well, then you're doing a world premiere too. A typical Devon Carney programming, a couple of classics, and then you slide in a world premiere. Tell us about yes, exactly. Tell us about this work.
Yeah, this is a really, I did not want to I didn't want to do another work on the program that kind of sat in the same world as these other two iconic works. And it's just like you described, something very unique that will be a great middle work for the program. And all three of these works are different expressions of the American life in the past, and what America meant to certain individuals. That being Agnes de Mille, George Balanchine, and their expression of what that was like. And so I contacted Caili, Caili Kwan, who's the choreographer, and I had known her for many years. I'd seen a few of her works in different locations. She choreographed something that was on a Kennedy Center programming about 3-4 years ago. I saw her one of her works that was done by American Repertory Ballet in New York City. And we've been talking for a while about, we need to do something eventually here. And this came up, this particular program that celebrates the history, that 250th anniversary of the country. And she has a very unique background, having parents and a bit of an upbringing there in Guam. And I asked her if she would create something that speaks to her experience of being, transplanted American. And thus the title a home away, right? It's a home. This is her home that's away from where she came from. And it's a beautiful work. The music's with the Dvorak Quartet, Americana,
Oh, no.
which is a lovely work. Ramona Pensagrau, our music director, she actually she helped Caili find the music. She suggested a couple of different things, and Caili really was interested in this Americana suite quartet. And the only thing is, we have a full symphony in the pit. A quartet? So Ramona actually found an orchestrator in Canada who had orchestrated this work into a full symphonic work. So it's titled a quartet, but it's orchestrated for a full string ensemble, which is lovely to hear it, expanded and more robust, and be able to use all the incredible talent that's right there in the pit with the Kansas City Symphony. I mean, how could you not want to have them play?
And that quartet has such a romantic sound. I can
Yeah,
see how it would lend itself very well to a full orchestration.
very well said. Yep, exactly. So the work just expresses her feeling of being in America as a young choreographer, who's making her way in this country and doing an incredible job at it. I mean, she has a beautiful career ahead of her and has this incredible upward moving choreographic career. She's done stuff for New York City Ballet, Ballet X, many different companies, and I'm very excited to have a work of hers on the program. It's a very moving work, unexpectedly so. What I was going to say earlier is that when she'd been working on it for weeks, and I didn't want to go in the room. I just wanted to get a good impression of it after it was fairly well done, created. And it was very moving. I cried. There's a point in the ballet very unexpectedly that you just get very verklempt, and it's like, oh, it's beautiful. It really is. It's kind of like it's contemporary movement. This is not like neoclassical ballet, but she uses the ballet idiom quite extensively, but she has her own language. And I love that about her work. It's very unique type of movement quality. As we say, she has her own vocabulary, something I haven't seen from other choreographers. So she's finding her very own specific language on stage to be able to express the human condition. And it's a beautiful work. The costumes are lovely too. They're very calm. They're like an off-white color, which kind of gets us from the muted earth tones of Rodeo to we kind of calm down from that, and we kind of, what do you call that? You get a chance to sort of go, okay, in terms of color, being thrown at you, and then on to Stars and Stripes, which is just like the juxtaposition between these off-white, beautiful costumes, and then Stars and Stripes. It's your eyes just are going to boom because of that change in color. She's been great to work with. By the way, the dancers have had an incredible time with her. She's fast. She's witty. She's fun to work with. She's demanding, and she's extremely creative and willing to create on our dancers a very unique work. And I love that. It's so great to be able to create a work on our company, because there's where you see the true talents of the dancers that are residents of Kansas City, who are, they're not just here for 4 weeks and then gone. They live here. They have homes here, and their livelihood is with Kansas City Ballet. So to see something that is created on them to bring out their incredibly unique talents has been really exciting, and I'm really happy for this work to be on the program. And it's a beautiful work. I cannot say that enough. It's very unique and lovely, and it will also be done later. This work will come back if your audiences miss it. It will be back on the New Dance Partners programming at Johnson County Community College in the fall.
Oh,
So it will be done again. So, or if you enjoyed it the first time, come see it again out at Johnson County Community College.
great. And how proud Dvorak would be because, he came to America, as you know, and he
Right.
really encouraged American composers to draw on American traditions like Negro spirituals and Native American dances to create a uniquely American art form. And it sounds that's what Kaili is doing with her ballet. Uh,
And he wrote this work in Spillsville, Idaho, in one
Iowa,
summer.
Iowa, yes.
Iowa. Gosh.
Oh, that's all right.
Um,
I've been there. Have you ever visited?
no,
Oh, you've got to go. It
I
is
know.
it's a
I
real
got to do this.
pilgrimage. It's a
Yeah,
pilgrimage. It's
especially,
great.
and I got to remember it's in Iowa, not Idaho.
Yeah, absolutely.
um,
Yes.
yeah, they have Ramona. Just a tiny little detail. Ramona actually played in the Dvorak Festival for 3 times in a row. It's every 10 years they have a Dvorak Festival in Spillsville. And for 3 of those, that means over 30 years, she played something there during the course of that festival.
That's awesome. And how, wonderful it is to think that, one of the world's greatest composers of all time actually has a Midwest connection of sorts. It's
I
really
know.
fantastic. And I'm
Yeah.
so glad you're doing a ballet based on this music. It sounds great. March 20th to 29th, Rodeo, A Home Away, a world premiere by Kaili Kwan, and Stars and Stripes, the music of Sousa, choreographed by George Balanchine. The Kansas City Ballet. For tickets, go to kcballet.org or call 816-931-8993. Devon, as I say, it's always so much fun to talk to you because you have so much interesting information up your sleeve. I just love it. So thank you for all you do. We'll look forward to these three great ballets.
Oh, thank you, Patrick. It's always wonderful to have a chance to talk about these things, especially on your program. It means a lot to me and to our entire Kansas City Ballet community. So thank you.
You bet. You've been listening to the KC Arts Beat Report. Please, once again, like this video, share it with an arts lover you know, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and subscribe to our Substack, and follow us on Facebook. And until next time, I'm Patrick Neas.